welcome back to some more Eric the Unready. Here we are on Treasure Island, on the captain's chair. This is Treasure Island, home of the renowned Colombian School of Piracy. The compound consists of several huts that huddle behind a makeshift fence. A Jolly Roger flies from atop one of the buildings, and a place has a generally illicit look about it. You see a sign up here. You stand up and take a look around. The sign is a tasteful arrangement of ship's wheel, a skull, and the words, Columbia School of Piracy! Let's go and climb over the fence. A gnarly pirate comes up to you and says, "Hurry, if you be wanting to come ashore here, you need a certificate. Where be it?" You hand over the certificate and bottle, and the pirate stands aside to let you off the raft.
"Avast," says the buccaneer. "So you wants to be a pirate, yeah? You come to the right place. Follow me."
The pirate leads you to a ramshackle hut with the name Lafitte Hall over the door. Inside a few rows of bamboo desks, he tells you to sit down and says,
"You'll be having 3 classes today. At the end, there'll be a quiz. If you pass, then you'll receive your bottle of rum and an eye patch. Now heave to while I fetch your first professor."
The pirate disappears out the back door, and then you hear rapid footsteps running around the side of the building. The side door opens, and the same pirate comes in, only this time he's wearing an eye patch. He strides to the makeshift lectern, clears his throat, and begins to speak.
"Good morning. I'll be conducting the first of your 3 training sessions. First, let me fill you in on my qualifications. I've been a registered pilot for 16 years. I rank 6 on the all-time booty list, and I'm a founding member of Keel Hawk Club. I've been voted Buccaneer of the Year 3 straight years, and twice during the period I served as Vice President of the Steering Committee of Community Relations. Our topic this morning is selecting an identity and building a reputation as a pirate. First of all, pirates must have a color of their beards registered with the International Piracy Board. According to the latest list of unused colors, some of the available names are..." He fumbles through his notes and continues, "Pink beard, salmon beard, burnt sienna beard, peach beard, fuchsia beard, goose beard, cyan beard, summer saffron beard, and lavender beard and mauve beard. Once you have selected an identity, your next problem is to spread your reputation. You'll appreciate the difficulty of the task when you realize that the persons most qualified to testify to your ruthlessness will be the very victims whom you have killed. Nevertheless, notoriety must be achieved, and it's hard to strike fear to someone's heart if they have never heard of you. Consider the following dialogue. Ahoy there! Stand by and prepare to be boarded. Who's gonna make me? It is I, Vermilion Beard, the mighty pirate. Never heard of you, booger off. This is clearly an unsatisfactory exchange. We therefore recommend 3 specific procedures to help you spread your reputation. Number 1, always let a few victims of your raid survive. They'll be sure to talk when they get back to port. Before you let them escape, however, make sure they know your name. Number 2, print up wanted posters with your own name on them. Shit works. Make up a nerd past of yourself. Spread these posters liberally through the port cities. Maintain good relations with the press. In particular, keep your eye out for the down-on-his-luck writer, who's soon to enlist a chronicler of your exploits. With the proper public relation campaign having taken place, let us now revisit the earlier dialogue and see how it goes. Avast! Heave it to throw down your weapons. Who are you? Black-Rod Beard, ex-insurance salesman? The suaviest pirate ever to sail these waters. Eek! That's it for all for now. Your next instructor will be here in a minute. The pirate leaves the room. Again you hear footsteps, and then re-enters another door, this time wearing his eye patch on the right eye. "Hey, good afternoon. I'm here to stress the practical side of becoming a pirate. Many people think the way to get started is simply sail into the shipping lanes and start plundering. No, 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 no. Here are 3 steps you absolutely must take before embarking on your first raid. First, hire a director of human resources. He will help you identify appropriate staffing levels, and he will also be invaluable in resolving conflicts when your raiding schedule interferes with your crew members' annual and sick leave. Second, get a good accountant. He will help identify what treasures worth pursuing. I know my own career blossomed when I stopped chasing ships laden with crude silver ingots and started going after cargoes of negotiable securities and bearer bonds. Your accountant will also help you take a maximum advantage of rules that govern depreciation of your ship. Third, don't buy, lease. Everything from cannons to cutlasses. Why pay cash for something that may end up at the bottom of an ocean? Let the other guy take the risk. Remember, successful pirates have always been well-organized small businessmen who are familiar with the principles of sound management. Now please be patient until your next instructor arrives. The pirate leaves and Stress rushes around to the other entrance. When he comes in, the eye patch is gone, but he's wearing a wig.
Hello, he says, slightly out of breath. The final session today is treasure itself. The rules governing the disposition of booty are well established as follows. 1. Steal the treasure. 2. Put it in the chest. 3. Bury the chest. 4. Make a map and lose the map. This seems simple enough, but you would do well to remember some little touches that distinguishes the graduate of Columbia School of Piracy from a rake amateur. First, you must always mark the actual location of treasure with a giant fucking X. This simple yet elegant method, much preferred to drawing a circle around a site, or worse still, defacing the map with a bunch of crude arrows and other bullshit. Then it is customary to rip the map into several pieces. Dripping blood on the map is optional. All reference landmarks should be dramatic natural formations. All sea distances should be recorded in leagues, while land distances should be marked out in paces. Finally, before losing the map, make a copy of it and bring it back here to the school. We will authenticate the location of the treasure and then dispose of the map in such a way as to encourage fortune seekers to treasure hunters. We do this solely as a public service to the region, ensure a broad tourist base and continued influx of outside money, which keeps the region economically stable. This concludes your classes. The dean will return in a few moments to administer the quiz. The pirate races around the building again. It comes in with a wig and an eye patch gone. Upon boarding an enemy ship, your first statement should be, "Avast, you scum-squilling motherfuckers!" The broadside is... the correct way to punish mutineers is make them walk the plank. Parrot. Primary advantage of wearing a peg leg. Best way to pass time during the intermittently boring stretches in between sea raids. What is the question most frequently asked by new sailors on their first day at sea? The bar takes the quiz away. He returns and says, "Ha, you passed the test. Here's your arm and your eye patch." He takes your arm and walks you back into the rift. "Good luck to you, and don't be forgetting to bring us back copies of your maps." The pirate gives a wave and disappears. The score's gone up by 10. Alright, we're done here at Treasure Island for now. Let's head back to Monkey Island. There's that confounded four-headed monkey. Yeah, disembodied voice say,
To successfully complete the call, you must use the correct number of party you must reach. If you need further assistance, please consult your user manual, as we have operator standing by. Thank you for using God's net. Yoo-hoo!
An arm thrust up from the surface of the swamp. It tosses you the banana, and then sinks out of sight again. You
give the banana to the monkey and he immediately scampers off to one side. Sits down on the beach. He peels one side of the banana and then rotates it to get the next side. As he does so, however, the strip that is dangling suddenly reattaches itself to the banana. Puzzled, the monkey rotates the banana to peel the first side again, but then the second side pops back up. The monkey scratches his head and repeats the process, then he does it again. It looks as if he's going to be here a long time. Stupid fucking monkey. You take the coconut. And that's all we need here. Let's head to the island of Lilliput. The island of little people. Gulliver's Travels. You are moored alongside a very small village. A conveyor belt runs in a large loop along the deck, through a customs shed and back again. You see a tiny laver here. A tiny dog master boards the raft and says,
Welcome to a small island. For obvious safety reasons, we cannot allow you to come ashore. However, if you are here as a merchant, just put whatever you want to sell on the conveyor belt. When it comes out the other side, it will be shrunk down to manageable size.
The little man jumps off the raft and disappears into the shed. You stand up, take a look around. There's a lot of tiny little bitches around here. Let's put her umbrella on the belt. You drop the umbrella on the belt, it winds through the customs shed and comes back to you much smaller than it was before. You pick it up again. You drop the coconut on the belt and it winds through the customs shed and comes back much smaller than it was before. You pick it up again. Fuck! You set the lever to export and the belt reverses direction. You drop the dragon on the conveyor belt and it winds around. Moments later you hear a loud scream and then you see a full-size dragon emerging from the other side. The dragon hops off the belt and settles down on the raft as if to say it's content to go wherever you're going to go. Alright, well let's go. We got the giant fucking dragon now. Nothing's gonna stop us. What's this down here? You've encountered a small iceberg that blocks further passage. On the raft you see a dragon, and the dragon's eyes on the obstacle as it sucks in enormous breath. When it exhales, a hot jet of fire plays across the surface of the iceberg, quickly reducing it to just a couple of cubes. Then the dragon gives a polite burp, and even the cubes disappear. The dragon flies into the air, dips its wing once in salute, and then flies off over the horizon. You stand up to take a look around. It's fucking awesome around here. Knoll Island. The tall reeds on the southwestern shore. This small island are shielding you from some gnolls who are enjoying a quiet family meal. You are close enough to hear that they can easily overhear bits of their conversation. A trail leads you off to the east. You stand up and take a look around, and if you do it real quick, it's hard to still beat you cool. There's some Adam's Family music going on. You step off the raft.
I never get the eyeballs.
You do so.
Do not.
Do so.
Now, children, you better start behaving or you won't get to go flaying tomorrow.
This bizarre playroom stuffed with gills and macabre pieces of equipment, including among the child-side instruments of death and torture, are the gallows, a guillotine, a rack,
an electric chair. The only way out is back west.
Let's go ahead and put the coconut on the guillotine. Maybe we can cut it in two.
You place the coconut on the guillotine, and the blade drops and takes a clean slice out of it. The top rolls away somewhere, and when you pick up the coconut, you see clear white liquid inside.
Alright. We're making a little drink here.
With the nonchalant flair of someone who has been tending a poolside bar for years, you drop the umbrella into the coconut. You pour the contents of the bottle into the coconut. Moments later, the bottle vanishes. Wow, now that's a drink. The midget produces a lime from his pocket and says, "You put the lime in the coconut and you feel better." Then he goes off into the house. Soon afterwards, he repairs with Mr. Dog trailing after him.
Accept my most profound apologies, Captain Smirk. I don't know what it is that came over me.
Dog produces the bolt cutters of doom and hands them to you.
Here, my friend, free your compatriots.
You slip the bolt in half and the cage falls to the ground. "The chain!" Dog yells. "You were supposed to cut the chain! The bolt is the only thing that holds this island together! Run for your lives!" You hear a low rumble, which is quickly followed by a geyser of water that erupts below your feet, blasting you high into the air. You land on the mainland with the tidal wave bearing down upon you. You race away from it, tripping and stumbling as you go. When its fury subsides, you collapse exhausted on the ground outside a black gate. No, not the black gate in Ultima. At least I hope not. Holy shit.
Alright, this is the final portion of the game, the Black Gate.
Okay, Eric, you're all set. All you need to do now is break into the witch's castle and get L'Oreal out of there. Once you've got her outside the Black Gate, blow the whistle that she wears around her neck. The whistle will summon Pegasus, the winged horse. Get on his back and he will carry you and L'Oreal home faster than you can blink your eyes. But remember, Eric, the prophecy says that Fudd will die at noon. The Paris game should be over by then, so I'll be waiting on the king's side unless they go to overtime. You must deliver L'Orealia before the clock strikes 12, or Griselda will inherit the kingdom and all will be lost. Hurry, Eric! Not a single moment to waste.
Oh, I do hope I've remembered everything. It's been ages since we've been wedded here at the castle. The horses' heads are boiling. I've gotten enough dogs to feed a small army. There's plenty of spleens on all the tables. There's a circle on the floor in the great hall, so the stupid beast would know where to stand during the ceremony. And the minister is roaring drunk. And the bride is still pining her hopes on that incompetent knight. I guess nothing can go wrong now.
And here we are at the Black Gate. Even though it is daytime, this is still a gloomy place. A large black gate stands across the road that leads to the witch's castle. The ground here is littered with decaying grocery bags full of moldering goods. A cobwebbed skeleton sits with its back to the gate, its bony hands still clutching a heart-shaped box. You see a newspaper here.
Alright, here we are. And of course there's a newspaper to read.
Giant night stalks countryside. The swamp of perdition disappeared yesterday into what experts are calling a self-sucking stasis field. It begins as a small gurgling noise, said one expert, who asked to be identified. Then it gradually grows, gaining momentum steadily until it starts to suck in everything around it. Soon it's so powerful that it sucks in itself. At this point it stabilizes and will remain in a steady state indefinitely, as long as no one comes along and tickles it. The new look of the dead Presley is taking Taurus by storm. Thousands of Taurians are mimicking the sartorial choices of the dead minstrel, driving of the price of chamber pots and foul hats to the roof. They said, "I was an idiot to go into this business," said Wilfred the Hatter to an Inquirer editor. "Well, I am an idiot, but now I am a rich idiot. I could buy and sell your stupid rag before breakfast. Well, maybe not before breakfast. Lawyers don't get up that early, but before lunch anyways. And by tea time, I could have bought it again. Now, who are you calling an idiot?" "Handmade it to the gods. Must be able to carry multiple steins in one hand. Must supply own breastplates. Blonde preferred. Right, Valhalla Industries. Care of Morty." Alright. Let's see here. Let's put... You plunge the pitchfork into the tar, bend your knees, and give it a good heave. The tar flies over your shoulder, wrenching the pitchfork from your hands as it goes. You hear a splat and a roar, and you turn around just in time to see an enraged, tar-covered Twelfant lumbering out of sight. The crow strikes at you, but the magic crowbar intercepts the slashing talons. The bird's claws involuntarily close around the bar, and the weight of it pulls him to the ground. Flapping his wings furiously, he manages to take off again, but he can only get a few feet into the air. Hopping and fluttering, he disappears slowly into the northwest, where suddenly a magic causeway appears, swallows him up, and disappears again. You slap the stake into the black eye. Moments later, the stake falls to the ground and vanishes. When you look up, you notice that the eye has also disappeared. Here's where we're using the weapons, if you will, that we've acquired throughout the quest on the multiple things blocking our path. The cutter slice through the lightning bolt like a hot knife through butter. There's a sudden flash and a clap of thunder, and not only has the bolt disappeared, but the bolt cutters are gone as well. You take the candygram from the skeleton. You give the crescent moon a little twist. It slides into alignment with the stars and the gate swings open. Suddenly a rush of ghostly shapes stream past you. You are knocked to the ground until the great whirlwind passes, and when you get up you see a wicked witch standing in front of you.
"At last," she cries in triumph. "Those gates were sealed 5,000 years ago by the great wizard Bellsnout. He scattered the keys across Taurus so they could never be assembled again, but now you found them and opened the gate so that all of the evil on the other side shall be free to roam Taurus for as long as my castle stands."
She throws her head back and lets out a loud cackle.
The small voice in your head says,
"Oh shit!"
The witch snaps her fingers and you suddenly find yourself in a turret room of her castle. The turret is cluttered with all kinds of occult paraphernalia. An open spellbook lies on the table, flanked by a crystal ball sack and an hourglass. On the wall you see a skull, a stuffed owl, and a jar containing some eyeballs, and several jars of God knows what. A full-length mirror adorns the far wall.
"Finally we meet, Eric. You caused me much trouble in this past week. Perhaps now I can return the favor. Much as I would like to, however, I cannot attend you in person. The wedding at your precious Laurel is due at the start of 11 o'clock, and I still have some final preparation to complete. Who would have thought that a simple half-hour ceremony would take so much work? I'd love for you to participate in the nuptials, Eric, but it's considered bad luck for men to come to the wedding. And by the time the ceremony starts, you most definitely will be deceased."
The witch turns over a large hourglass and intones a portentous voice.
"When the last grain of sand through this glass has sped, Eric the Unready shall at last be dead."
A normal voice returns and she adds,
I'd say we're talking maybe 10 minutes.
She cackles a few times and then leaves. Wow, that witch. She's a real bitch. Let's turn this hourglass. You set the hourglass on its side, the sand stops straining. The curse is temporarily foiled. Haha, eat that, bitch. You take some eyeballs from the jaw. You put the eyeballs in the skull and they instantly light up. The mirror turns opaque. The pages appear to be blank. The mirror goes dark and you hear a ghostly voice. I am the spirit of the mirror. He who would enter my realm must first show he can see things I do. The voice fades and the symbols appear on the mirror. I am the spirit in the mirror. He who would enter my realm must first show me that he can do the things I do. The mirror becomes clear and you can see through it, the dark passageway behind. You head west. This secret passageway that runs between the turret and the witch's bedroom. The only thing you can make out here is a chain that is hooked to the ceiling and runs through a hole in the floor. You peer down through the hole to the great hall below. The chandelier hangs directly above a small black circle that has been inscribed on the floor. Other than that, you can't see shit. The witch's bedroom looks like it belongs to a little hoe. An innocent-looking teddy bear sits on the bed, and everything seems to be three-quarters size. You see a small broomstick here, and nearby is a dressing table that stands against one wall. A closed window is set into the west wall, and a secret passageway leads back to the east. On the table, you see some makeup. You take the makeup and you start to apply it. Oh wait, not yet. You want to wait till exactly 10:30. And you're going to put the makeup on the chain. Smear the makeup on the chain. It immediately goes to work dissolving the metal. Moments later, the pot pops out of existence. You open the window. You hop on the broom, which immediately flies into the air, swirling and looping and bucking like an untamed horse. Suddenly, the broom sails out the open window and you find yourself conducting aerial maneuvers several hundred feet from the ground. You somehow manage to hang on, and after a while, you coast the landing outside of the gate, where you promptly fall off the broom. Even though it's daytime, this is one gloomy fucking place. You hop on the broom, which immediately flies off again and takes you to this shanty little crawl space. You grasp the ring and pull. The door swings open. You're in the great hall of the witch's castle, hiding in Princess Laura's wedding cake. This will give an excellent vantage point from which to view the wedding ceremony. We shall read the candygram. It's a bright red heart-shaped box that has the word candygram written across it. Underneath the logo is some fine print. Let's read the fine print. You always gotta read the fine print. Knowing in your heart that only geeks read fine print, you nevertheless look at the small words.
Warning, the Surgeon General of Taurus has determined that this package contains massive explosive charges that will instantly kill whoever opens it. Therefore, it should not be advertised in magazines, nor sold to minors, although the government will continue to subsidize its manufacture in the country of North Carolina.
assume you mean 30 minutes. Time passes. A cheer goes up and the great hall starts to fill with the most bizarre creatures you've ever seen. Eye stalks, testicles, external gills and other organs are randomly distributed among them, as if the guests have been created by a giant explosion in a body parts factory. After a few moments, the beast enters and drags L'Oreal's down the aisles to stand in front of the minister. She still looks beautiful, and you want to fuck her immediately. She is dressed in a pure white gown. As a beaming witch looks on, the minister clears his throat and says,
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the bondage of L'Oreal to the beast.
The minister scratches his horn with one of his fins and then continues reading the words of the ceremony. Suddenly, the chandelier plummets down from the ceiling and scores a direct hit on the beast and deals L'Oreal a glancing blow. The beast falls to the ground, dead. L'Oreal falls as well, but she doesn't appear to be dead or seriously wounded. The room erupts in chaos. Chaos is what you know best. You burst forth from the cake and cry, "Pajamas!" You, the witch, screams. Her goons close in around you.
Stay back,
She commands.
I want to kill him myself.
She pauses and strokes her chin.
But how to do it? These things must be done delicately.
In a moment, frozen in time, everyone in the crowd is staring either at you or the fallen body of the beast. The lovely L'Oreal has fainted. Once again, the witch appears to be coming to some kind of a decision. Do you want to continue waiting? I don't know, do I? No? We'll give the candygram to the bitch.
Thank you.
She replies.
You might want to read the fine print before you open it. Don't be silly, only geeks read fine print.
She opens the box and 10 pounds of high explosive chocolate detonate in her fucking face.
I'm melting!
She screams while trying to lick the gooey stuff from her chin.
Who'd have thought my lovely wickedness could be destroyed by some caramel cream?
She suddenly disappears in a puff of smoke, and you hear a low rumble as the castle starts. Your skull's got out by a magnificent 30 fucking points. Let's take the princess. Ever so tenderly, you gather the unconscious girl in your arms. Pieces of the castle are falling all around you. You race out of the castle and make a mad dash for freedom. You are aided in the effort by an explosion from behind which picks you up as if you are a rag doll and dumps you outside the black gate. Let's go ahead and blow our whistle. You scan the horizon for the mighty Pegasus. After a while you scan it again. Eventually you see a small dot in the eastern sky. It grows larger and larger until suddenly it is upon you, landing in a flurry of wings. To your surprise, a large duck has appeared. "Where's Pegasus?" you've asked. "Lunch break," replies the duck. "I'm covering for him." "Well, you gonna get on or not?" Your score's increased by 10. You have achieved a score of 950 out of 1,000. And guess what? You deposit L'Oreal on the duck and climb after her. Your score has just gone up by 50. You have now achieved a score of 1,000 out of 1,000 points. Boom! Shakalaka! The magic bar takes off and soon you are flying high over Taurus. L'Oreal awakens from her stupor and says,
Eric, I knew you would come.
Before you can reply, the duck suddenly starts to lose altitude and you start descending toward Fudd's castle. The thrones of Fudd and Morgana have been set on a platform outside the castle in front of a large crowd. You land just in time to see Fudd's head loll forward. "Father!" cries L'Oreal. She leaps from the back of the duck and pushes her way through the crowd to the king's side. "Too late!" Morgana cries in triumph. She snatches Fudd's crown and starts to lower it onto Griselda's head. "Wait!" shouts Bud the wizard. "Prophecy or no prophecy, L'Oreal is still the next in line to the throne. Before Griselda is crowned queen, L'Oreal has the right to invoke the ancient ritual of challenge. What say you, L'Oreal? Do you invoke the ritual?" Everyone looks at L'Oreal, who is kneeling next to her father. She's holding him in her arms and crying uncontrollably. Bud asks the question again and she shouts,
Don't you people care that the king is dead? He was a good man and a good father. Go ahead and play your fucking games with the crown. I will do a daughter's duty and mourn for my sire.
A hush falls over the crowd.
So be it,
Says Bud into the silence.
you may proceed, Morgana the Black, but it is an ill day for Taurus.
Once again, the queen starts to lower the crown onto the head of her ugly-ass daughter.
Of course it is considered bad to form crown a new queen when the old king isn't dead.
Who said that? Morgana shouts. I did, you wretch, I Fudd, your husband whom you've never loved. I Fudd the doddering old fool. I Fudd your king.
Fudd rises from his throne and stands before Morgana.
But how? What about the prophecy?
The prophecy was correct in every detail. It said that old King Fudd would die. Well, the old King Fudd did die. You see before you a new king, a younger king, a king no longer besotted by evil charms of an evil hoe bag. And my first act as new king is to banish your ugly bitch ass and your daughter from the kingdom. And you can take that simp Sir Pectoral with you too. He's got a tiny penis. The crowd cheers as Morgana, Griselda, and Sir Pectoral with his tiny penis slink from the platform. Prophecy also said that the princess, who was to be my side, shall inherit the kingdom, and so she shall. Fudd takes L'Oreal by the hand and raises her to her feet.
No father could ask for more than the love of his daughter.
You have made me a happy man. The two of them hug while the crowd cheers. Then L'Oreal whispers in Fudd's ear and the two of them pull apart. And finally there's the matter of Sir Eric the Unready. No knight ever withstood such hardship as he. No knight ever pursued a nobler quest. Now then, the traditional reward for the rescue of a princess is our hand, and marriage and half the kingdom. Fudd pauses, looks at you and continues, and this is exactly the reward that Sir Eric shall receive. I hereby decree that a year and a day hence from this date, L'Oreal and Eric shall be married, and they shall jointly be heirs to the kingdom. Pandemonium erupts. The mob fills you up into the air, and the people pass you over the heads and deposit you on the platform next to L'Oreal. The two of you kiss and make out, and you turn to her and you say, "Wanna fuck?" And more people climb up to the stage. Suddenly you hear a familiar low rumble. Thus did it pass that Sir Eric rescued the Princess L'Oreal and became betrothed unto her. Morgana the Black was exiled from the kingdom, and Bud the wizard returned to his contemplation of the holy gridiron. And so ended the saga of Sir Eric the Unready, Part 1. And that's it, folks. Thanks for watching Eric the Unready. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be making a Part 2. But stay tuned for other games by Legend. The Sorceress, or Sorcery 101 to 103, Homeworld, and many other great text graphic adventures from the company that Legend was back when they were alive. Now they are really and truly a legend. Thanks for watching.